It's a bountiful day in this hollow earth. A beautiful day for a hybrid. Do they shift shape? Boy, I feel great. Won't you be my cousin? Welcome, everyone, around this hollow globe, all my creative cousins, to the most important meal of the day, y'all. Shrimp for breakfast! Let's go! What is it? We got Tuesday morning. It's a beautiful day out here. It's a beautiful day. And of course, we've got the stars of the show. A piping hot black cup of coffee. And those dag homegrown greens to get us into that divergent thinking. We about to diverge into the deep end, y'all. Let's fucking go! I don't know if y'all can tell, but the more frequently we do these, when we start to ramp up, I really start to get charged up. Yesterday, I was just like vibrating all fucking day after doing the video. I'm really getting warmed up with these videos, and that's exactly the point. Getting worked up, getting ramped up for the Ghostshrimp Classic Workshop. Round 15 starting in October. And then we're rolling that right into round 16 in January, y'all. So sign up if you want to level up your creativity, level up your technical ability, meet a whole group of dope art friends from all over the world. We usually have some international sprinkled in, as well as all over this God bless America, the United States and beyond. You know, we've had so many people. We've had over 115 plus people take the workshop, literally from all over the globe. It's incredible. And a lot of them end up coming here and hanging out. It's insane. It's not your average workshop, y'all. One-on-one weekly vid chats with me. Y'all know the deal. Oh, yeah, y'all. Hope everyone is having a powerful, productive week, a great week here. As we said, this is the fourth quarter of 2024, right? Heading into fall, wrapping up the year. What is the game plan, y'all, right? What is the vision of what we're executing here? What are we most excited about in this season here that we have left, in these 3 months that we have left to finish out this year? And then what are we looking forward to start off 2025? Living in the future, y'all. Holy fucking shit. You know, shit's just getting more batshit crazy. You got to get your plan down now, because shit is ramping up. Shit is going crazy, and the world is absolutely exploding with madness, potential, creation, destruction, coercion, fucking, everything, dude. Like always. And as it should be, that is how Mother Nature works her magic. That's her game, is everything, everywhere, all at once, if you haven't noticed, right? Imagine all the stuff that's going on right here, right now, and we can only get a little slice of it. And then imagine all the infinite variations in the parallel dimensions, right? Truly, I think very few people in their daily life take into account where we are thinking about life right now, right? Multi-dimensions, multi-higher life forms, right? Us being in the middle, not at the top, right? Can you really, in your daily life, find a way to make sense of all that? I think that is the level of the game we're at. And if you can start to put together a picture of the puzzle that isn't a doomsday puzzle, right? Everybody from the beginning of times to talk about doomsday, doomsday, doomsday. Guess what? It ain't doomsday, y'all. But can you really make a huge picture in your mind, right? This is the difference between where we go to school and we're told what to think and we're told what to memorize, or when you can take in all the information available and put it in your own mind and for yourself start to connect the dots and create a unique picture of the world, right? That makes sense to you, that you understand, where you can put you into it, where you know your place in it and you know what you're here to do, right? Part of finding your purpose in life in a real deep way, I think, is encompassing the biggest picture of life that you can. I'm a big picture guy, right? Sometimes I miss some of the small details. Never in my work, though. You know those details are on point in my work. But I'm a big picture guy when it comes to thinking about life, planning life, right? I am hungry for data. I am hungry for all the knowledge I can get. Not saying, oh, I don't believe in that. Oh, I don't believe in this. Oh, this religion, that religion. Clues to life can come from anywhere. Clues to life can come from an enemy. Clues to life can come from something you don't agree with, right? Give me all the data. Let my brain crunch it down. And let's start to connect those intangible dots that other people aren't seeing. That's where you really start to make the breakthroughs, right? Like they say, what is that? Talent hits the bullseye that everyone can see, right? But genius hits the bullseye that only they can see. Right? So start crafting a unique vision of the world, and then you will start to be that unique version of yourself and be able to cook up that unique plan to live your unique one-of-one life, right? Let's fucking go, y'all. And of course, this video is brought to you by me. So we're going to take a minute here to plug the Lost Forest coloring book, the greatest coloring book ever released from the biggest book publisher in the world, Penguin Random House. This is my biggest personal project of my 21-year career. 55 juicy, talk about personal mythology, talk about aliens, talk about spooky ghosts and Bigfoots and all the amazing cryptids and bad kids and rowdy children and all the good stuff. This is fucking pure Ghost Shrimp, y'all. What are we even talking about here? If you don't have this and you're a fan of mine, y'all fucked up. It brand new. It's only $17. I think the sale, there's sales going on. I don't know if there's still, they were $11 on Amazon and some of the other places for a bit. Check it out. Absolutely worth it. Would mean a real lot to me if you picked one up. Get a couple extras, give them to your friends. This book is really, really fun. Great for kids, great for teenagers, great for adults, great for old people, great for dead people, dude. Put it in a casket, send them down the basket. You know what I'm saying? Yeah! All right, what do we got today? We're here for another AMA, y'all. We got some juicy questions. Let's see what we got. First, we got some nice comments on the Shrimp for Breakfast 26 video. At George Naylor 1431 says, these videos provide immense value in my life and motivation for drawing right now. Smoking big ones and getting in my imagination with y'all is really helping keep my imagination stimulated. Bless you, brother. Love when you get the time to do these. Me too. Thank you so much. Right back at you. Really appreciate the comment. That's what we're here to do. We're here to inspire people, to enlighten people, to let people know that you don't have to play other people's games, right? You can make your own rules. You can make your own game, right? Whatever rules you're playing by right now, someone else made them up. Does that really make sense to you? If it doesn't, make up your own rules. This idiot did it and it worked for him, right? I'm 40 fucking 4 years old. My whole career, I've never worked a day job, period. And every single art job I ever did, I was super inspired to do, right? Just because that was my goal. If you set that as your goal, it's actually not that much harder to achieve than any other goals. You just got to sit down, make the plan, and do the work and be relentless about it, right? Is it work? Yeah. Is life work? Yeah. Get used to it. Mother Nature wants to see you hustle, yo. The fucking universe wants to see you out there hustling, having fun, and inspiring other people. That is the secret of life, right? George Naylor, 1431 knows that. Let's go, y'all. Shout out George Naylor. Big up. Let me know where you're from in these, too. We always got to know where everybody's from. Where y'all from? Where y'all at? All right, we got another one. What do we got? At Nils Cuvis 4337. Thank you for the good advice and encouragement, Mr. Shrimp. I still don't get the weird shouting noises, but you do you. That's the H in the ADHD. You know what I'm saying? I've been a spaz ever since I was a little kid. They couldn't beat it out of me, and I still got it. It just hypes me up, you know what I'm saying? I'm a rowdy boy. I'm a like we say, bringing sports level hype to the art game. You really don't see this kind of energy, around artists a lot. I think it's one of the things that sets me apart and is truly me and truly unique. So that's what we're saying when we're saying do you at all costs, right? A lot of people will be like, why are you yelling too loud? I see a lot of feedback like, oh, this isn't for me, but that's okay. I'm not trying to be for everybody. You know who I'm trying to be for? I'm trying to be for me. I'm trying to be for my friends. I'm trying to be for my family. And I'm trying to be for all the other kids like me out there who, when I was a young buck, was struggling to understand where I fit in the world and was constantly told I was wrong. Everything I was doing, nothing I was doing was right. And it was very confusing and it was very hard, and it created a lot of friction between me and my parents because they were trying to push me into that mainstream template and I was never going to fit there. They were pushing me into school. They were pushing me into medication. They were pushing me into all these. They were doing what mainstream reality told them to do, what consensus reality told them to do with me. But that didn't have anything to do with me, and that was very hard. I felt very alone in that. Even though my family was being supportive, they were also, unbeknownst to them, being very destructive to my brain and to my soul, right? So it was this crazy push and pull, and it was such a hard time, and I'm so thankful that I made through it, that I made it through it, that one of my major goals in life has always been to be myself and to share the hardest stuff, share those tough moments so that those other kids out there right now can hear that and go, oh man, it's okay to be me, right? I didn't have a lot of feedback like that. There wasn't the internet when I was in that predicament, And so it was like me and my man Luke, I was shouting out last week and doing his questions, right? It was the homies. It was my homie Tyler Price who was over here the other day, right? Shout out fucking Eben Agerson and Charlie Pullout. Shout out fucking Tin Cans Azula. Shout out the homies, fucking everybody out there, right? Shout out Herb Summers, the crew, yo. So it's tricky, it's tough, but you do you at all costs. There's no point in not being yourself, right? That doesn't mean being your worst self and your self-destructive self, because that was all mixed in there too, right? That's the tricky part is when it's you versus the world, that's a tricky thing, and you got to find your way mentally out of that. And then it's just you versus you, right? Everybody is in the you versus you, and just leveling yourself up. At weird English kids says, haha, it'd be hilarious if the eye poke is a karmic message to quit weed. Well, the plant poker that I poked my eye with, the plant stick, it wasn't a weed plant. It was actually a rubber tree. So it might be, if anything, a a message for me to, I don't know, not have indoor plants, to not have sticks in my indoor plants, maybe a message from the rubber gods, a little karmic poke. I don't know. I don't know what that would mean. All right. But shout out to you at Weird English Kids. I've seen you throw some comments down. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, we got some more. We got some more here. Let's see. At Seth Nor, we got some juicy ones. We're working through them, right? Sometimes we only really get to like one or two questions in an episode, because you know how we like to do. We like to be silly. We like to just air it out. We like to let it go wherever it goes. Obviously, we're getting blizzazzled, so sometimes it might make not any. Sometimes it might not even make sense. I'm literally waking up. I'm literally baking with y'all. It's fucking 7:41 in the morning right now. I've had, this is my second cup of coffee and my second fucking, pack, and where the edibles are starting to fucking kick in. You know what I'm saying? So we're just getting warmed up, y'all. By the time we're done with this, then we're ready to dive in and work, But this is truly the best way to start the day. Wake up. I get a little half-hour workout in, and then, get the kids out the door, and then come up here and blast this video, and then boom, by 8 o'clock, I'm here drawing. Get a good fucking morning in, and everything else is easy. Get all the momentum going first thing in the morning, and then the rest of the day is fucking down. It's all rolling downhill, right? It's not going downhill. It's just like, it's easy. It's like you wake up and you just climb that big mountain, and then boom, you just fucking bombing down it the rest of the day. It's glorious. All right, so at Seth Nord on Instagram says, have you had any UFO/alien/cryptid/ghost contact lately? And are you working on any big projects you can tease us with? Will we ever get to see some Escape from Hat stuff? It got canceled, or am I wrong? Lots of questions. So reversing here, going back to front, we got Escape from Hat stuff. A lot of that stuff, all the best stuff is on my website. It's just called Netflix feature, but it's all the stuff that's like rabbit and magic related, like Bad Cat, Magic Rabbit, Cat Mechs, Power Crystals, Magic World. That stuff it's all blocked together, and it all is labeled Netflix feature. It's all up on the website in the Viz Dev, the visual development section. So check it out. It's a lot of great work. Really proud of that project. Worked a year on that movie, and of course it was killed by Netflix. As unfortunately a lot of features are. It's incredibly hard to get anything made with the studios. It's a real tough thing, and right now it's harder than ever. It's really a shame, because that was a really fun one, and there were so many great people working on that. My homie Ron Wimberly was working on that. My homie that I met on there, Liv Carmella. Of course, it was directed by Mark Osborne, who is brother of Kent Osborne, my fucking great cousins. You know what I'm saying? Great guys. Hard to find a group of greater guys. You know what I'm saying? We know so many great people. So many great people. What else? Big projects to tease us with. Right now, working on the biggest project. So been for a while now, for a couple years, on and off, been working on a project for the Magic Puzzle Company. If you don't know, they are the coolest puzzle company out there. Giant jigsaw puzzle, 1,000-piece that you build, and they have artists just go absolutely nuts on it. Complete total freedom to make the giant Ghostshrimp jigsaw puzzle, so I've been doing that. And when you're done building it, it has some straight seams in it, and in mine, the top comes in half, and they switch positions, and because of geometry, they leave a shape in the middle of the puzzle, and then you have a secret envelope of other pieces that fill in the middle of the puzzle, and the image there is like a twist ending on the storytelling that's going on in the puzzle, in the big puzzle. So it's really fun. It's like this big puzzle is a movie, and then you get to do the twist ending, and bam, it blows your mind, and you guys are really gonna love what we cooked up. And I started this a couple years ago, right before my dad died. Had to take a big hiatus, and then because of just the way scheduling works and work stuff, I've kind of had to like create different times where I can like reinsert this into my schedule and still kind of keep up with all the other stuff I got going on, because I'm always scheduled way out ahead of time, and we have financial needs for the family and all that stuff. So, but these guys have been nothing but amazing. Magic Puzzle Company, one of the greatest companies I have ever worked for, and we're not even done yet, but we're coming very close. I'm doing the final pass on it right now. Should be done hopefully within like the next month, and it is the largest scale. You know how big a big jigsaw puzzle is, like 21 by 28 or something like that. So it's the largest piece I've ever done, and it's the most detailed, most complicated piece I've ever done. A lot of the characters are like half of an inch tall. So it's a real Where's Waldo vibe. I've talked about it a few times on here. Going to be absolutely incredible. So, keep you updated on that. And they've been so patient with me, just, understanding and working with my schedule. So really appreciate that. And about to start the second poster of the Trees triptych for his upcoming show at Red Rocks in November. Which is going to be really fun. So yeah, just literally got the go ahead on that. And gonna get that on the desk today as well. So often I multitask with different projects. That's really where I feel like I'm at my best. I feel like I am more productive when I'm jumping from one project back and forth. Keeps my brain very stimulated, feeds my like ADHD brain, where I'm just like really, my brain is very hungry for data. It's very hungry for that like peak exploration buzz. So, if you get, sometimes when you're working on the same piece day after day, week after week, month after month, sometimes, it can get a little bit not like boring at all, but like just a little less stimulating. And, by jumping back and forth between multiple pieces, it's like very stimulating. It's like zap, 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 zap. So that's a little trick I learned working on Adventure Time, where I had to, jump back and forth, where I had a dozen backgrounds going at a time, and I would, jump back and forth from them all. And then any UFO, alien, cryptid, ghost contact lately? Not like anything super wild. Like ever since my dad died a couple years ago, I've definitely been on a journey of like of being in greater contact with the other realms, like the dimensions where our ancestors are, and the dimensions where my father now exists. I could tell you that the way we think of death is I think very simplistic, and every culture has its own mythology around death. I think American mythology around death right now is pretty weak, and we're pretty out of touch with it, as we are with a lot of things that have to do with literal physical things. I think we're in like a very literal physical place in culture right now, and there's a lack of connection with the other realms, but especially when you live in the forest, you are much more connected to those other realms. The forest is like sort of a place. It's a thin place, right, where you could go and really feel the quote unquote supernatural, ultra natural all around you. It's very. You can feel it very strongly outside of the human environment, outside of the urban, the suburban, where you're just constantly basically surrounded by mostly people and mostly man-made environment. I find that environment to get kind of sterile and kind of just like what's the word? Stuffy. It feels a little stuffy. It's like a little bit too many humans all in one place, a little stagnant. It's funny because I think a lot of people feel the opposite, like, oh, the more people, the more stuff's going on. I think the opposite. I think I love the life forms of the trees and the animals and the insects and the openness and the freshness and the growth of it all, and the variety of life out here, to me, is so stimulating and so amazing. So absolutely love that. So really been definitely getting a lot of information, a lot of downloads, a lot of strong messages, a lot of voices in my head from the other realms, a lot of great advice keeping me on track, saying you're exactly where you want to be. Just stay focused, keep doing what you're doing, don't get distracted, don't listen to this stuff, and just really quieting my mind and just really being kind of pulled through by these, by my ancestral forces, really feeling all the people that came before me in my DNA and feeling closer and closer to that, being, halfway through this life, this reality that I've been living, definitely feeling very settled and very wise and very grounded, even though I'm still a dum-dum and still making dumb mistakes. And during Ghost Fest, we got this crazy new ATV and just immediately crashed it because I'm way too excitable. And I was thinking the other day, right when I got my driver's license, I flipped my parents' car, crashed it. Right when I got my first ATV, this 6-wheeler, I crashed into a tree. Right when we get this new Polaris Ranger 4x4, 6-seater, crashing it, crash it, break a wheel off, just so still you always still have the same impulses in you, but you get better at controlling them. Certain situations like that where it's absolute peak of all these friends around, all this stimulation, all this excitement, all this energy, sometimes it's easy to lose control. But overall, at the age of 44, I'm feeling, I really understand life. I really have an amazing understanding of where I am in this life based on what I can know. In no way do I think I know everything. In no way do I think I will ever understand, life and my place in it fully, right? I think just like the Tao Te Ching, it is to understand is to know you will never understand, right? To be a master is to be a novice learner, right? It's those ideas where you just, the older I get, the more I trust the process, the more I trust the universe, the more I trust the listening to these quieter voices rather than the louder voices of mainstream reality, of other people's expectations, of cultural pressures that may not apply to me, of all that stuff. Really being able to just be more firmly in my zone, just more firmly in my skill set, more firmly in my purpose. And the more you get in there, just the quieter those distracting voices are, and the more omnipresent the love and the well-being. I'm feeling so healthy right now. I'm feeling so calm. I'm feeling so settled in my life. I'm feeling so grateful for my wonderful wife, Athena Bandit, and her metalsmithing and her career and where she's at right now. She's in a dozen stores all over, and we're just we are two absolute soulmates intertwined, pursuing our absolute purposes in life. It is this is all you could ever fucking dream for, right? And my children, Wolfie is 13, going into middle school, such a cool guy, sharing all my great hip hop with him and all the great creativity, and Juniper Bandit being in 3rd grade here and again, sharing all my creativity with her and the love of toys. And, same with, we have such a fucking cool family, just all the great wood stuff, and just everything is so fucking dope. This is just absolute peak. Right now we are just absolute peak Bandit. So I feel great mixing of all the realms right now in a way that I've never felt before, which is really freaking cool. So I haven't had a mind-blowing single experience. I'd say the last one that I had that was really an anomalous experience was sitting at the pond right after my dad died. I was taking a big hiatus from work and just sitting for hours by the pond and just feeling and thinking and letting it all in. And just walking through the woods, I've told y'all, I was trimming dead branches off of the trees, listening to the Tao Te Ching, just taking edibles, just zoning, just vibing with nature, just not thinking, but just feeling and just processing and just letting old ideas flow out and letting new just knowledge and understanding flow in, you know, and just being comfortable in that uncomfortable space, knowing this was a transitionary time, knowing this is one of those lessons that is uncomfortable to learn about someone that you love in your life, not being in the physical anymore, but understanding where they really are now. You know, my first question when my dad was gone was, where is he? Right? He's not here. Where is he? You know, and really reaching out with my other senses to find him. And finding him and understanding that. And now I feel like he's always with me. Before, when he was dying, I felt like I was losing my father and I wasn't with him, you know, and now I feel like he is in me and with me every second of the day, right? I feel him, I hear him, we're talking all the time. In a way, I've never felt closer to him, right? Because he is working inside of me through my actions all the time, right? Sometimes I feel like, oh, this is my dad in me. This is my dad in me right now. I'm trying to get much better at being the laundry lord. My dad was great at being the laundry lord. I'm really trying to embody that right now and channel my dad and really, you know, be on top and in charge of the laundry stuff. We have so much to say laundry in this house. It's tricky. My dad was a very convergent person. He was a very literal person. He was a very pragmatic person. He was a very organized person, and I'm the opposite in a lot of ways. So I'm trying to channel some more of his organizational vibe and in that way. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that channeling stuff, that embodying, that opening up to the other realms, that's the kind of shit that I've been really experiencing lately. But the last real anomalous one that I had, and I think I've talked about it on here before, I was sitting at the pond in a chair, and you know, I've spent my whole life in the woods, so I've seen just about everything there is to see. I mean, you always see new stuff, but like, you know, the everyday stuff. And then, so I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden I hear this sound that my brain tells me is a big frog jumping in the pond, right? It's like a splash. And so I look over, and then all of a sudden there's it's like this little invisible force is spinning on top of the water, and it's shooting water around like a weed whacker on the water. Like this. I can see an indentation on the water being pushed down. It's maybe 10 feet in front of me. Water's crystal clear. I can see in the water. There's nothing under the water. I can see on top of the water. There's nothing on top of the water. I can observe the trees around me, the ferns around me, the grass around me, all that at the edge of the pond. None of that is moving. There's not a wind blowing through. There's not a dust devil coming through. There's not, you know, I'm very familiar with seeing a little water devil go across the water and, you know, do that. It was like that, but it was isolated. It was on its own. And it came through and very slowly, right in front of me, walked or spun, or however you want to think of it, kind of meandered in front of me across maybe a 15-foot section of the pond, maybe 10 feet in front of me, enough for me to just be absolutely gaping at it and looking at it and just like, what? It felt like it took an eternity. I'm just staring at it like, what the fuck is that? Oh my God. And it's just, and then it just hits the grass over here and dissipates. It's like, I don't know if it was my dad or some energy or whatever, but it's like some kind of entity just crossed right in front of me, like a little wink from the universe, right? And I was just awestruck by it. It felt immediately supernatural. If you've ever encountered something like me and Wolfie saw a craft in the sky together. When I was a child, I experienced what you would call like ghosts in the forest, you know, voices that came around and all of a sudden started spinning around me and I could feel it and it was like absolutely mind-blowing. And each time there's a very specific feeling that comes with it, just like breaking a bone is an incredibly distinct feeling, and you know it as soon as it happens if it happened before. These kind of supernatural, ultra-natural experiences, they are the same. They have a very distinct signature, a communication element, so you can acknowledge and know and pay attention and get that wisdom, you know. And I feel like that is like a little download. It puts something in you, and so that was the last one that really hit. But I have been having tons of just the download, like the data dump, like the crazy messages that just come fully formed into your mind, like this vision that's just like bam, like someone's broadcasting it into your mind. That has been stronger than ever since I've been recovering, like ever since I've been like, my dad died and there was like this wound, and ever since that's been like healing and scarring and strengthening again, that break and that healing process, I've whatever broke, like an immense amount of information has been coming in from that hole, right? And to fill that gap. And that's the way life works, right? If you're open to it, if you give yourself over to it, each challenge presents an opportunity to get an immense amount of growth and knowledge and advancement from that. So that's really where I've been at, and I've been so incredibly thankful for it. Like it was one of the lowest points of my life after my dad died 2 years ago. And afterwards, the recovery process has been the absolute best time of my life. Feelings that I've never felt before, feeling the highest highs that I've ever felt after feeling those lowest lows. So don't be afraid to feel those bad feelings. Embrace them, because know on the other side of them, it's a process, and on the other side of them, you will feel the great feelings that you've ever felt, right? So stick with it. Have faith. Take that leap of faith. Trust the universe. Trust your purpose. Trust yourself. The worst thing is to be off track, is to reject, is to close off, is to, not trust the universe, to not open yourself up to it, because then you are depriving yourself of the resources. It's like holding your breath. It's only gonna hasten your demise. Breathe deep, embrace, accept, and fucking let those visions come in and follow them absolutely relentlessly. Know that this life is the God's gift to you to do whatever you can dream of. You've been given an imagination where you can dream your wildest dreams and go out and pursue them. And when you do that, amazing things happen. It won't be exactly how you think it will be, but what will happen will be even greater than you imagined. It will be different, but it will be even greater. Trust me, because that is the journey that I've been on my whole life. And I see people that are on that journey, and I see people that aren't on that journey. I see people in the struggle without knowing their purpose, and I see people in the struggle with knowing their purpose. And it's night and day. Okay, so there you go. A little shrimp for breakfast, extended edition. 37 minutes. We're getting up there, y'all. What are we doing? All right, and remember, y'all, as always, you have more in common with every single life form on this planet than you have in conflict with it, especially human beings, every single human that has ever existed. So connect on what you have in common and look past what you have in conflict, because what you have in common will surpass that, and it will make what you have in conflict trivial and dissolve, and we can all move forward together, y'all. Let's fucking go. Let us shrimp for breakfast, y'all. Hit up the website, get the merch, get the book, sign up for the workshop. You know what to do, yo. Put your questions in the comments. Let's go.